3. Hi, everybody, and welcome to Bloop. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Laura.
And today we're going to talk about book 4 of the Winston Brothers series, and that's called Beard in Mind, and it's by Penny Reid.
The wonderful Penny Reid.
Yes. So we're going to do this whole series, guys. It's just going to happen.
We're doing the whole series, and there's 7, right, with Claire?
I think so.
Okay. Really quick, Bloop, we are a podcast that focuses on all things books, and primarily we like to review books and share, what we felt like our enjoyment level of them was with the star rating. But something unique what we do at Bloop, as you know, if you've been following us, or if you're new here, is we provide content ratings for books. And why do we do that? No, it's not a form of censorship. It is a form of empowerment for both readers and authors alike. How does that work? Is we just provide a general content rating without spoilers so that readers have an idea of what they're about to embark upon as they decide to spend their time, their emotions, and their money on a book. And then for authors, we feel like content ratings, offering that to their readers will help them find their ideal readers.
Yes, and if you want to know a little bit more about our content ratings and how we came up with them, they're all on our website at blooppodcast.com. You can
Yeah, we have more information so you can kind of see what is involved. It's very similar what you would expect for like a TV show, or a movie rating.
Exactly. So we're going to get into the synopsis real quick about Beard in Mind by Penny Reid. All is fair in love and auto maintenance. Beau Winston is the nicest, most accommodating guy in the world, usually. Handsome as the devil and twice as charismatic, Beau lives a charmed life as everyone's favorite Winston brother. But since his twin decided to leave town and his other brother hired a stunning human porcupine hybrid as a replacement mechanic for their auto shop, Beau Winston's charmed life has gone to hell in a handbasket. Shelley Sullivan is not nice and is never accommodating, ever. She mumbles to herself but won't respond when asked a question. She glares at everyone, especially babies. She won't shake hands with or touch another person, but has no problems cuddling with a dog. And her damn parrot speaks only in curse words. Beau wants her gone. He wants her out of his auto shop, out of Tennessee, and out of his life. The only problem is learning why this porcupine wears her coat of spikes opens a Pandora's box of complexity, exquisite, tempting, heartbreaking complexity, and Beau Winston soon discovers being nice and accommodating might mean losing what matters most.
Oh, so good. Okay, so we give this a content rating of adult with a sexual content rating of 3, we think we said. Yeah, moderate spice. So why the content rating? There is some explicit language. Rebecca and I typically prefer books that, like, if you're going to have a curse word in it, it needs to be well placed. Because otherwise, why put it in there? There's violence or the threat of violence in this book. Some adult themes. There is some descriptive nudity. It focuses on some tough aspects of mental health. There are multiple references to sexual acts, and sex occurs midway point in an average length novel. And there is some descriptions in those scenes, including what is happening above and below the waist, but it primarily focuses more on the thoughts and emotions during those scenes. Mm-hmm. Okay. So if we bring these out, you know what these are? This is our star ratings. How much did Rebecca and I enjoy these books? And then we'll share kind of, without spoilers, kind of why we gave it these ratings. And if you've read this book, go ahead and leave your star rating in the comments. And let's see if we match.
This looks stupid. Okay.
3, 2, 1, flip. What'd you get? 5. I put 4. 4 bright stars.
5.
4 bright. I mean, it is a strong book.
I liked it a lot.
Okay. Now, as I said before, we're going to share some things, try to keep it non-spoilery right now, and then we will, let you have like a warning when we're about to do a deep dive. Okay, so briefly, why 4 stars? I thought the book was strong. I love the writing. I still love Penny Reid's writing. Audiobook is amazing. We had Chris Brinkley and
Angela Daw.
Great.
I felt like Angela Daw did a really great job.
Such a great
with
job.
Shelley, with her character, and I really feel like if Shelley was right in front of us, that's how she would speak.
Right.
Great.
And just like what Penny's really great at, very character-driven stories. We get to like know the inner workings of why a character does and says what they do and how they act. And and even though again that is considered a standalone, there is like this interwoven like plot that goes throughout all the books. So I think it is in your best interest, wink wink, to read the whole series.
Yeah. And you get some, brothers are commingling in all these books and other family members.
You'll see characters
and Penny does a great job with not making mistakes in, a character's personality or the way they look or whatever. I mean, it's very consistent throughout.
Yes. At this point, I think, or do you want to share some general?
Well, I agree with you. This book in particular wasn't as laugh out loud funny as the other ones. Although there was humor, it just wasn't as laugh out loud funny as before. But I mean,
it dealt with more.
It was a harder topic, but Penny still had the ability to give us some levity in places, which and that's hard to do as an author. I would imagine is trying to make light of certain things.
Agreed. So at this point, we're going to share some of like the vibes or keywords that would describe this book. Some people find this spoilery. Other people enjoy it and want to know these things. So depending on where you fall, on that line, you can see yourself out or you can stay with us if you haven't read the book yet. So it's up to you. Some that I have, we have again a redheaded MMC, male main character. I kind of put like initially, like it's like almost like an enemies to lovers.
I put enemies to lovers, yeah, for sure.
Great banter again. Mental health rep, and this is going to be OCD. Then again, baggage from childhood, some toxic extended family, family secrets, a naughty parrot. If you listen to the audiobook. Great accents and southern charm. He wants to wait. A biker gang, small town, happily ever after, which I don't find that's a spoiler because you're reading romance, and that's kind of like a given in romance. Artists, sizzling chemistry, comedy. It is a dual POV, like we said. Slow burn, kinda. Honest, respectful conversations between consenting adults. We have a smart and eccentric FMC, that's female main character, a stubborn and smart MMC, respect for women, steamy, and auto mechanic. And whatnot. If you can tell, I might like Penny Reid's books a little bit.
The only ones I had that you didn't have, I think, did you say Southern Charm? I think you did.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, you did.
They're good, yeah.
Southern Charm, hot, rugged guys with beards, and I put for this one, emotionally intimate conversations.
Yes. Yeah, some hard stuff.
Yes.
In this book. All right, at this point, me and Rebecca are super stoked to do a deep dive. But really quick, before you leave, we wanted to just show you the lovely Winston Brother family. We've shared this previously before, but this is the twin that we're talking about this time. If you remember Dwayne from book 1, he's the grumpy twin. One. And here's Bo. He's like,
the lighthearted, happy-go-lucky.
He poops sunshine.
Yes.
Everything is just, great in his world all the time, supposedly. So,
you want me to go to the next one?
Sure, you can go to the next one.
So here's all the brothers.
So we have the brothers here again.
In birth order, I believe.
You can tell them apart. I don't think so. I think because he's number 5. And I don't know why Roscoe's in a suit here. Yeah, he's a vet, right?
Veterinarian. But whatever.
So I don't know. I thought one of the things that we're going to share, it said that he was the 5th. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Let's look at the girls really quick, just to get a little.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Oh,
this is Bo.
She did much better. I'm just pointing, and then that's better. That's better.
There's the girls.
Here are the girls. Here is the beautiful Shelley
Sullivan.
Did it say how old she was? I didn't get that.
No, actually, it never says how old she is in the book. But all it says is she's older than Bo.
That's what I thought, because she was like, thank God for 22-year-olds or 24-year-olds.
Yeah, Bo is 24.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So we won't get into the why, but the characters we have talked about so far. Santa Diaz was from book 2, and then you have Jennifer Sylvester is book 3. This is Jessica with Dwayne, book 1, and now we are on Shelley. And this is Ashley, the Winston Brothers' sister, the only girl of all the brothers.
And this is Claire.
Which we'll be doing Claire, yeah. I think hers is next. Or is it Claire and then Billy and Simone?
I think that Roscoe and Simone.
I said Billy. Roscoe and Simone.
Roscoe and Simone are next. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. She's so cute.
Oh, Shelley. Shelley.
Did it again.
Oh.
Okay. I found these from the lovely Penny Reid's her Facebook page, and I loved how it's like this little character write-up for both. I like seeing a physical representation of what maybe I'm assuming Penny did this. I didn't think I saw credit for anybody else, but kind of seeing inspiration for what a character might look like in real life. Because if we didn't find this, I was probably gonna go back to the AI thing and be what? Get an idea of what the Winston brothers looked like. Do you want to share a little bit about him?
It would have been cool if it was in color because of the red hair, but I mean,
she's married to a redhead, and
yes,
my husband has. Everyone thinks he has red hair, but it's only because he's got a red beard.
Yeah, the beard. Okay. So, it says number 5 in the Winston family. He's an auto mechanic. He's a 4th owner of the Winston Brothers Auto Shop, and he's everybody's favorite because he's the most fun. He's the most, I don't know. He's caring. He loves everybody. He's funny. All that good stuff.
Yeah. So if you guys know this about dynamics in families and the way people different ways they will respond to trauma. Okay, so when you think of Bo, I think of the peacemaker, right? He wants to try to
smooth
everything out. Nothing's a big deal. Let's prevent the vicious outbursts from
Can't we just all get along? That
kind of thing. But I think growing up in the environment that they grew up in, right, with an abusive father who literally would if you towed the line at all, Dwayne being locked in the woodshed for days without food or water because he sat in his dad's chair. And then you have Billy that was beat so bad they weren't sure if he was going to live or not, and his mom getting beat up all the time. I mean, his defense mechanism is that facade.
He wanted to make sure that everything, he probably is the type of guy that tried to think 5 steps ahead to make sure everything in the household was perfect and nobody was going to ruffle dad's feathers, that kind of guy.
Yes. Let's see Shelley really quick. So we have Shelley. She's supposed to be supermodel gorgeous.
Right.
When you see people who just have this persona about them or whatever, it's just he can poke at me and it hurts to look at you.
Yeah, she's tall, she's got gorgeous blue eyes but dark hair, and
so if you've read Knitting in the City, her brother is Quinn, which is book 1, and Janie is her sister and becomes her sister-in-law, and so that's kind of how Shelley was introduced to the Winston Brothers Auto Shop. I think it was Quinn and Janie kind of connecting with Ashley and trying to get that all set up.
So she's the newest auto mechanic because Dwayne is leaving town, and Cletus had to hire somebody new to take over Dwayne's role because they were too busy to not have an additional person. And Shelley is a great auto mechanic. She's also a famous artist, and she's really good with her hands, but she's got OCD. And I'm talking, she really has OCD. It's not the type of, off the hand comment where you're like, oh, my OCD's acting up today. No, she really has it, and it prevents her from saying and doing certain things like shaking people's hands and just uncomfortable conversation. She has social anxiety,
and it's like it's an inability to not like touch people, and it's not because of like a fear of germs. It's like a fear that if she touches them before they touch her, her impulsive, intrusive thoughts tell her that she will harm them.
Yeah.
That bad fate will befall them, and they'll get injured or hurt or killed because she touched them first. Like these are the kind of thoughts that are constantly racing through her head that she has to every day fight to filter out what is real and what's not. And like she has to win control over that.
And she's currently in therapy. Great. But she's now trying to live somewhere else to try to get better. She's trying to work in the public to try to get better because she's been pretty much primarily in her home doing like art and stuff like that. And she's kind of been isolated. So now she's trying to get out and be better, but she's still got some hangups, and she comes off as really rude and just nasty. She doesn't have any sense of humor.
She has humor. She's got no filter.
She's got humor, but it's kind of down there somewhere.
But she's got no. It's more like she's got no filter.
Right.
So like she observes things like you speak in even-numbered sentences, and in her mind, her impulsive thoughts or intrusive thoughts tell her
you're bald.
But her intrusive thoughts will tell her, right, that like if you speak in even-number sentences,
that means you're
an evil person.
You're an evil person. Yeah, it's just she's
So she's got these quirks. We'll call them nice, like they're cute quirks, and
of course they're in the South, so our people in the South are handshake, hello, yes ma'am, no ma'am.
We're best friends right off the bat. I'll give a hug. I don't give a handshake.
Politeness is like paramount.
But the problem with greetings is right. Someone's like, "Hi, I'm so and so," and they offer to Shelly, but they didn't make the first contact. Right. So then Shelly has to touch them first. Right. And then we have an issue.
And then, and she just kind of freezes up there, but it comes off as rude, and Bo is not okay with that.
Yeah, so Bo's the people pleaser. He's happy-go-lucky. He sees this. He's like, she's rude to the customer.
like, she's awful.
We can't have her talking to customer. Like, this is terrible. She just made fire chief, whatever, cry.
Right. And the customers were getting mad because she was...
Because they don't know.
Because they didn't know, and Bo didn't know, and Cletus...
Well, not all of them, but some of them deserved to be mad because they were kept commenting on Shelly's beauty in her body.
Right.
That's not appropriate. And Shelly would let them know.
Yeah, Shelly would let them know right away.
You're a scumbag.
Right.
So we're going to... we said we were going into a deep dive already, right?
Yes.
We're going into a deep dive if I didn't say that already.
Yeah, we're already deep.
I just sweated a little bit.
We're already deep in the dive, man.
Yeah. We're deep in the dive. Okay. So I guess I could talk a little bit about like why I gave it 4 stars really quick instead of the 5 stars. I felt like a lot of 4 stars to me is still really good. Like this is the third time I'm reading this book. I still love it. I'm just comparing it to the whole Winston Brothers in general, and so I picked my favorites, and then the other ones get the 4 stars. That's one reason. Second reason is I feel like she did Shelly extremely well, and she did Bo's trauma extremely well and how he dealt with it. I was missing a hair breadth with whatever of chemistry between them. It was a little off for me.
I get that. I mean, I get it, but it's also, I think that it has to do with her though, and her personality.
It might because it came through so much, and maybe that's what I was feeling. I still feel cohesively. It's a great book. I will recommend it till the cows come home. But I just comparing it with my others. This was not as strong or one of my favorite couples.
I liked it and gave it 5 stars because I like messy characters, and I don't like everything nice and neat and with a little bow on top. I like the messy part of it, and
I think she did great.
And she did great with the messy, and I like that. That's why Shelly is, and she's got really great character development. Like she gets better through the story.
Have you ever met anybody with OCD? So I have a family member.
I don't know. I don't know. And not like this. No,
I have a family member. It wasn't quite as intense as this. I would say it's more mild, but in times of high stress or being in an environment when it was like just a bad environment, you would notice it more. And so what theirs was like always asking, did I chip a tooth? Every time you ate a meal, did I chip a tooth? Can you check? Can you check? Can you check? I chipped it. And it would be like 10, 15 times in a meal. Or did my eyebrow get messed up? Can you see if my eyebrow got messed up? Are they good? Like always constantly asking those things. But then also going up and down the stairs. They would be up and down so many times, or touching the door handle. They would go back and forth.
And they have to count
so many times with those things. And it's like going around our house, going around the house and making sure people were breathing in the middle of the night, like making sure their head to their ear because for some reason people were going to stop breathing in the middle of the night, things like that. So I kind of experienced that. I thought she did a really good job presenting what things like that. Now, Shelley's were a little different. Shelley's was
intrusive thoughts,
more like having to scrub, like clean so many items and keep things ordered, which is
she was cleaning the tools because she thought that that Bo was going to get sick. Like
if they weren't clean enough, then Bo would catch a disease or a germ, and then he'd get sick and die. Like it goes from here to like worst case scenario. So I kind of understood Shelley a lot.
Yeah, now I've met people that have like obsessive compulsive like counting or like with the having to make sure that they check the door 3 times or stuff like that, but it's like I'm not a close friend with them, so it's not. So I didn't experience that.
So you didn't live with it,
right?
Yeah.
It's like,
I kind of find it hard to believe.
And those people didn't come off as rude.
But I find it hard to believe that Quinn, as observant as he is, and then doing the security and things like that, he didn't catch on like that something like he was more concerned about the cutting.
Mm-hmm.
But you didn't observe like those character patterns. That was another thing for me. I was like, Quinn is a really smart, observant.
Well, when I first started reading this book, before they stated it's OCD, I started thinking, is she autistic? Like that's kind of where I went with it. And I thought that maybe that's where Quinn also thinks, she's on the spectrum somewhere,
Maybe.
Those two things, and they're not mutually exclusive.
To me, it's more like a Cletus personality because they get hyper fixated and more things like that, but they're both brilliant.
But a lot of people with autism too have OCD, like they kind of go. So it's like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know there was like a
sometimes there's some
like a comorbidity,
where you've got to wear the yellow jacket on a Tuesday, like. So,
they pick their favorite outfits.
Obsessive things are more like a structure.
Yeah,
like they need
super consistent.
They have to be consistent with their structure. If anything happens, then they get thrown off and they're done for the day or whatever.
Totally.
Yeah. So stuff like that. So I could kind of see where Quinn maybe just didn't dive into.
They had their own trauma too.
So or maybe perhaps he just thought this is her and she just hates everyone. Like.
Yeah, he misread it because siblings will do that. Family members will do that when you are in it for so long. It's kind of hard to be like, you're choosing this, like
You're choosing to be. You could totally just be a nicer person if you really wanted to be a nicer person.
Mm-hmm. And I don't find her like she just didn't have a filter. She didn't like set out to be rude. She just had her defenses up.
And by not telling her brother, it brought a lot of hurt to him as far as not wanting to touch the baby and not that kind, and not wanting to hug him.
Yeah, like if you remember, Quinn had a baby and they wanted her to meet the baby, and she kept putting it off. And so Janie was like, "Well, we're coming to you."
Yeah, because Janie kind of understood Shelley.
Yeah, Janie's quirky too.
Yeah, and so did who was Cletus? Remind me, what's her name? Jennifer. She also picked up on.
Yeah, she just immediately was like, okay.
Immediately.
Do you like to make soap? I'd love to make soap.
Yeah. Immediately.
I love Jennifer Sylvester and Cletus are like my favorite.
They're awesome.
They're my fave.
They're awesome. So, one thing that Bo said about Shelley, gorgeous didn't come close to what this woman was, even though I didn't like the woman, meeting her eye still sent my wits straight out of my brain. The strange truth was, despite her oddness and moodiness and rudeness and unpredictability, I liked the woman. I wanted to know her better. So that's where Bo kind of landed with Shelley.
Yeah, I just like this. He's like, Shelley? She's like, yes. Like, look at me.
Wow.
Why? And he goes, I love how it feels. Because remember, for him, it was like every time he saw her, I did think that was cute. She like took his breath and he like, my wits, I can't focus when I'm looking at you, let alone talking to you.
And he wasn't the only one, because everybody that saw Shelley was just like, oh my gosh, I need sunglasses. This woman's killing me. I mean, she was drop dead gorgeous.
Even Jessica was like, she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen.
Right.
And then here's like Dwayne trying to be like, hey,
not as pretty as you.
No, he's just like, you know, he goes, hey, have you looked in the mirror? She goes, honey, thank you so much, but let's be honest. That was so cute. Bo has really funny, like all those Winston brothers, they just have like these comments that just come like off the cuff, and I just think they're so funny. Cletus to me is the best at them, and then you know, Bo and Dwayne, I think, coming in there, or Dwayne more so than Bo, I think. But Bo had a couple good ones. And so if you remember from Cletus's book, Beard Science, he has this running joke. He likes to make people really uncomfortable when he talks about his sausage. Yeah. he bakes and makes all these things with sausage because he goes on like this hunting expedition with like Native Americans and, right? Was I think it was that? And it's like, not, I think he's like really with like bow and arrow or something? He like really gets into it. And he's really proud of like this sausage, this meat that he gets, and he just makes it into this sausage. And so Bo, I thought it was so funny because Jennifer Sylvester. So this book and Cletus's book, they coincide at the same time, in the same time frame, which was cool.
Time frames, yeah.
So Penny, bravo, because that was probably really difficult to do. But it's so funny because Bo is turning it on Cletus now because Jennifer Sylvester comes with like these muffins.
And she's the banana cake queen, so she makes food.
And it's the scene where like Bo's trying to get Cletus to like admit his feelings for Jennifer Sylvester because Cletus laid claim on Shelley. He's like, we're suited. And Bo is really upset at that point because he's like, what do you mean you're suited? Like, first of all, he did not like Shelley at that point.
Yeah, he could not stand Shelley.
And then he realized he was starting to like her and was like, I need to feel Cletus out. And like Billy gets involved a little bit and Jethro, I think, and they're like, it ain't Shelley. it ain't Shelley. It's, you know, it's Miss Sylvester. And then, but they, you know, Bo, this is the first time he's seen Jennifer all different and not this, you know, fake
made up character.
A character, yeah, just this made up character of a person. She's an actual real human being. And so Bo, he's frustrated with Cletus at this point. He needed to pick one muffin and stick with that muffin. He didn't get to lay claim to all the muffins because that's not how life works. But that's like his internal thought. But there was a point where he was like joking and flirting with Jennifer Sylvester in front of Cletus. And Cletus is like snatched all the muffins. Like, you can't have any more muffins.
Yeah, you can't have any more muffins. I'm leaving.
And Bo's like, well, you can't eat all those muffins. He's like, I can and I will. I love them. Dude, I need to find out when this has become, like when this is going to be made to film.
It's supposed to be like a series.
I'm assuming the writer's strike obviously might have messed things up in terms of timeline, but I haven't heard anything else, and I will be so sad if it does not, because how great will this show be?
If the actors do not disappoint us, we will strike.
It's got to be no names. It's got to be no names.
It has to be.
Oh my gosh. One thing I like about all the Winston brothers, I will say, is, and they give credit to their mom, Bethany, right, is that she really made them gentlemen and really made them respect women, because how it's the dichotomy of it is like the opposite of their dad. So Jethro to me was really the only brother, he was the oldest, that really like fell away for a while and like followed his dad's footsteps, and then he had that whole coming around moment. But I just love how like romantic they are at heart. Like they'll read poetry and she taught them all to dance.
She made them very well-rounded men.
Well-read. They dance. They know how to like how they talk. Like, we're well-suited. I'm going to take her on a date, like a proper date, and like all these things. And more often than not, they all want to wait.
Yeah, they all do. They all
So
want
it's
to.
like
They all want to make sure that they're in.
the girls in these books are like, let's go, let's go, let's go. And the boys are like,
Shelley just came right out with it.
yeah. But the boys in this book are like, hold on a minute. Like, we're going to wait, you know? And I really do think that's great. And for example, I know just the way they talk, but Bo to me was pretty like romantic in that, you know, how he says moments of quiet ordinary made extraordinary by sharing them with the woman I love. And he says, I love you, Shelley. I'll love you when you break, and I'll love you when you put yourself back together. Like, he was, what I liked about this book was sometimes you can read a character who, it's especially difficult when you're reading them when, like, on paper, or you're listening to an audiobook. And how do I say this? People can dehumanize people who have eccentric quirks or mental health issues or all of that. And Shelley really voiced that, where she was like, I'm not lovable. Who would want to put up with this? I don't even like to put up with this. Who would love me? And
Like,
what if
I'm not
Dr.
worthy.
West? Dr. West says, you and I have discussed deserving at great length, and you agreed you would stop deciding what people deserve. Dr. West was really great. And she says, calling yourself crazy is giving up. You are in control of your obsessions, of your compulsions, because you know they're irrational. So, like, she really would just kind of like put that into, but I really appreciated when she said, like, people get to choose what they deserve. You don't get to decide for everybody else what they deserve. But I say that because Penny Reid did a really good job humanizing Shelley, you know, because you could think like, oh, she's got all these problems, and then like showing that somebody will love you, and it's about sharing burdens with each other. There was
I really appreciated Bo in this, because I started thinking, you know, of all the Winston brothers, or just men in general, really, it would take a special personality to be able to handle someone like Shelley, and Bo was really good for that reason, for her especially. I liked that, you know, once Bo knew about Shelley's illness, his heart just like enveloped her, and he made conscious choices to read up about OCD and try to understand it more, and he was willing to go to therapy with her and figure out why she does certain things. Can he help her, you know, like with he found out that it's she has to be able to touch the person first, or if they touch her, then she can touch them, that kind of stuff.
Like with
the baby,
like when he took Desmond's finger and had him the baby touch her first, and
so
then
she could hold him.
Oh, that was good. I did get a little misty at that point.
Yeah, because so there was all of that, and I really appreciated Bo.
Well, this was the quote Dr. West said to her, and I think this is kind of what you're saying. Have you considered, Shelley, that there's someone out there who might not consider these things about you crazy, that someone might take the time to understand your disorder, take the time to understand and therefore appreciate you? Because she's reminding Shelley, you're more than this OCD. You are a freaking famous world-class artist who people commission and pay a lot of money for, because you're so talented and you're caring and you're empathetic. Like, her OCD was like, I have to clean this because this person will get hurt. Like, she cared about people. She loves people.
Yeah, she loves people.
She loves people. And she even wanted her own family, but was like scared, like, I don't want to pass this on to my kids and all these things. So it was just
I had that exact quote.
Oh, isn't it so good?
And Bo says, I was seeing her now. This is when Bo finally started to understand who she was. I was seeing her now, the real her, the starving creature. She kept locked up tight. I wanted her. Essential, madness, need, all consuming. Where you are, that's where I want to be. That's what Bo said. So it was an internal thought he was having.
Yeah, and I just really appreciate, too, that we're looking at this, and what Shelley is discovering is she's not alone, because even though she's struggling with OCD, everybody has something that they're struggling with. So, like, I really love the analogy that they kept going back to the broken refrigerators, right? So, like, Bo fixed refrigerators for this church function, whatever, this woman at church, right? And then fix them up and then, like, donated them again. So Bo likes to fix people or do
he-
things, but he didn't like people making him deep dive into his trauma because he has a lot of trauma and issues. So you said it perfectly in the synopsis. I think it was a synopsis that will you read the last line of the synopsis again? Sorry. It was the last line.
Bo Winston soon discovers being nice and accommodating might mean losing what matters most.
Yeah, so he's so focused on being nice and accommodating, not hurting anybody's feelings, and being so focused on helping everybody else, so he doesn't have to deal with the root and the core of his issues, right? So what I really liked was that by meeting Shelley and her having issues, she was like, I'm going to help you with your issues. And he's like, wait a minute. No, I'm supposed to help you because, you got all these problems. She's like, well, buddy, you got problems too. Type of situation. And she didn't say that, but she wanted to be there for him. She says, you've seen me at my worst and you love me anyway. Give me the same chance. Show me who you are and trust me to stay, even if there's dark parts, but also trust me to stay because of them. Like, she was letting Bo know that she wasn't just someone that needed help. She could help him too. It was okay to lean on her also, that she could handle it. Yeah, this is where she was really humanized, because it was like, yeah, I might be struggling with this, but I'm still capable of loving somebody and functioning.
Like, let me help you.
Yeah, I'm still a human being. I'm still capable of functioning. I just have these racing thoughts that manifest sometimes.
Like, you're not
I don't control
going to burden me more.
Correct.
By letting me in and letting me know your problems too. Correct.
And I love when she goes, please let me hold the tools for you while you work on your refrigerator. I love it. And I loved how at one point Bo was finally like, because Billy was encouraging Bo to not tell Dwayne that they were adopted. That was a huge.
I felt so bad for Bo and Dwayne when they found out.
But Billy eventually, and I think, and Shelley helped him with that. It was like, tell your brother, And so Billy was like talking to him like, no, because, you don't want to hurt Dwayne and make him whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Bo's like, this is my refrigerator, Billy. I need to do it. You can't be doing everything for all of us. Don't keep shouldering all the burdens. Otherwise, we'll never learn how.
Right.
So I did like that. And then I like the last comment from Dr. West, again, the therapist. And this again, Penny Reid is so good. All people are broken, which is kind of what we were saying. Everybody has their baggage. No one is perfect. Some seek help, some don't. But no one is ever fixed by another person.
No.
We can only work on ourselves. We are, using your analogy, Shelley, our own refrigerators, no one else's. So how Shelley deals with that with Bo is so good, because she's like, let me hold your tools. Like, you can support somebody and be loving and empathetic and supportive to them, but you can't take the tools and start working in their refrigerator. You you need this wrench? Here. You need this hammer or whatever. You need this screwdriver? Fine. But I'm not going to be like, get out of the way and let me screw it in for you.
You can't fix it for them. They have to do their own work.
So, and that was like the whole, the idea of the people pleasing. And I love that line there, he could lose it all if he doesn't start addressing his issues. And this is something that somebody called Bo on. I forgot who it was. Was it Jethro, Billy? Somebody was quoting Bethany. Don't set yourself on fire trying to keep others warm.
I don't know who said that. I saw that quote too, and I remember reading it. I don't know if it might have been Shelley. She might have said it.
No, because she wouldn't have known Bethany.
Oh, that's true.
It was a Bethany quote.
Oh.
But one of the brothers was saying, as Mom said.
Yeah.
Reminding him. It might have been Dwayne calling him on it or something.
Yeah,
but it was really good.
Yeah.
So this book was really good. Like I said, I felt like that they addressed those issues of relationship really well. Again, the only thing that was missing a little bit for me was the whole.
What was cool was, Bo was so upset that Dwayne was leaving, and he was gonna lose his twin. Not forever, just for friend. But his best friend. And they're twins, and they do everything together. But there was a part in the book where the biker gang is kind of surrounding them because Christine wants to talk to Bo. And
Christine is Razor's old lady, they call her.
Yeah.
So basically, she's the wife
She's
of the president of the club.
yes,
The gang.
And Bo doesn't want to talk to her. Normally, he would call Dwayne because Dwayne is the driver. Like, he can drive.
Yeah.
And Shelly's like, I can do it. And he's like, what? You can drive? And she was like, yeah. And like they
We
made
don't
this
just
little,
mean drive. We mean like you're a race car driver.
like drive, a getaway. Like, you just robbed a bank and you've got to go. That, and Shelly was able to do that. And Bo was just like floored. Like, Shelly could, and Bo said to Dwayne later, she might be better than you, man. Like, she can drive.
Like razzing his brother.
Yes.
But I think it was funny. So you will find out later about why Claire's reaction, what it was, why she was so relieved to find out that maybe, she was related to Dwayne and Bo because they have the same mom.
Claire is Christine's Claire's mother too. So
so Christine, the old lady, so now we find out that she's the mom. We knew she was the mom of Claire and her dad was Razor, President Club. But now Dwayne and Bo are related to Claire, but Claire is not related to any of the other Winston siblings.
Right. They have the same mom, but not the same dad.
Yeah. So she was like relieved. And I think it's so funny because Drew sighs.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a chart to keep up with y'all. I can't remember who is related to who these days. And it was such like also, because you know how people like they harass people in the South. Like, y'all are inbred.
Yeah,
you know?
y'all are.
Like,
y'all.
So Drew's like, I'm going to need a chart at this point to find out what is going on. But that was funny. And then Cletus, there's one more thing. Cletus, I have to give a shout out for Cletus because he's still funny. Cletus had instructed Dwayne to put his concerns in the suggestion box. Of note, Cletus had labeled the shredder the suggestion box.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
A year ago when Dwayne had suggested half days on Fridays. So there still is laugh
There's
out
still
loud
a lot
moments.
of, like, there was a part too where Roscoe finds out that Shelly doesn't have a cell phone. And Roscoe's so disturbed by it. He's like, how does she survive with no cell phone? And Cletus goes, I don't know. I don't know, Roscoe.
That was
like
Billy.
Or was it Billy?
Yeah.
But it was, I don't know, air, food, shelter, like normal. You know? And then Roscoe's like, no.
And they harass him. Like, there's a quote, I don't know what it was, from Bo. Bo was just like, these hippies having all these opinions that don't matter.
He's a hipster. He's a hipster.
Yeah,
he's a hipster.
So, Shelly quote, we're going to have to bleep that word out, Ron, when we post it. But she said, if I wanted commentary on my behind, I would go to a proctologist.
Because she had a lot of people commenting on her body.
Yeah,
all the time. And she worked for a mechanic, as a mechanic. So obviously you're going to come into more contact with more men than you are women, for sure.
Yeah, typically. And I loved how she said, I did like this with them, that Bo's presence and the way he responded to her was calming to her. So like how she said, when she like looked at him, like, oh, these racing thoughts and ideas in her head, just would go for a minute, you know, or just let her be. And she was at peace because she felt safe with him.
She trusted him.
You know, something with that disorder for her, she was very observant. And very observant, and like his character spoke volumes because he was a consistent person, a genuinely kind person, and when you feel safe with somebody and all that, you can be who you truly are.
And she liked him. She liked him so much from the beginning. And
I know.
It was just so funny that Bo just did not like her.
And Bo loved everybody. Bo liked everybody.
But not her.
Yeah.
He was not okay with her.
Was not okay with
One
her.
of the things she said was, you're absolutely vital to me. I want to be just as vital to you. I want to take care of you. Let me take care of you. You're my first thought in the morning and my last thought before I go to sleep.
That was cute. That's cute.
Yeah. So I liked them together. Oops.
No, we're good. I didn't have anything else to add. Do you?
There was another comment, just a funny thing. Quinn meets Bo, and I know that they have met here and there or
Maybe,
whatever.
yeah.
But you know, he's meeting Bo as Bo's dating Shelly, his sister, and it was just so funny because Quinn asks Bo. He goes, how old are you? And Bo was trying to distract Quinn with, answering that comment, and he says, I was born during the war. And Quinn goes, what war? Like, I mean, it was just so funny.
And he was like, what war?
Like what war?
Meaning like,
Bo's 24. I mean, it was just
so we
funny.
get the impression that Shelley's older.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
older.
she's probably 30.
I'm thinking she's 30.
Yeah.
So I almost put age gap as one of the things, but
since
we don't know.
True, that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, I feel like it's an age gap, but we don't. Just from the one comment, like I said, when she was like, thank God for 24-year-olds.
Yes, exactly.
And then Quinn was kind of like,
you're 24,
you seem young, bro.
Yeah, like, you're a little young for her. This quote, I think I will use for the rest of my life. Bo said it. My mama always said you should meet guests in shoes, family in socks, and friends in bare feet. I have no idea.
I did like that
why,
one.
But I love that quote.
I did like that one a lot.
Yeah.
That was good. So as you can see, we are super fans of the Winston Brother Series, and we think Penny Reid does just a phenomenal job of bringing these characters to life. If you know when it's going to be on film, please let us know. It's like, we are still anxiously waiting, and I need to maybe I can go stalk her page a little bit, find out hey, what's any updates on this? But if you don't know, she has a reader group on Facebook where she really does interact with everybody. I think it's Sharks of Penny Reid. We'll put it up here in a little bit, but for you guys to come back to. But yeah, she's just a great person, great human being. Love her work. Her stories are great. And we just can't wait to finish the series with you guys. So that's kind of all I have.
And we've read these before. So I mean, these are just such good books that you can read them again and again.
They're like comfort reads.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. She does a great job.
But until next time, everybody, we appreciate you joining us today, and look forward to next time.
Yeah, so if you haven't click that subscribe or follow button, please do. And again, we will see you next week with another fabulous book.
Yes. Until then, God bless, guys.